Hello everyone. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Good evening everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening all. Shall we start our class?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So these are the three instances, right? Ansible server and two nodes. Let me start all of them and we'll go inside these ones. Even if you have any number of nodes, procedure is pretty same. Okay, these right now I have taken two nodes. In place of them, you can take 200 nodes. Same concepts are pretty same. So let's go inside these machines. Connect. So I'll change color. Okay. I'll make it as green. Node 1, green color. Actually, we need not to go inside nodes. Once setup is over, when we push configuration, you'll understand. Okay, it's not actually right time to explain that one. You'll understand slowly. Because in companies, suppose assume that you have some 200 nodes. Every day you won't log into all 200 nodes. Everything you do in server only. But I'm going inside nodes to have initial setup, just to have initial setup only. After that, we don't need to go inside these nodes. And yeah, node 2, yeah, yellow color. Let me rename these tabs. White one is server. Green, node 1. Yellow, it is node 2. Let me increase the font a little bit. So let's go switch to Ansible user. So click from Ansible. Okay, guys, here I'd like to tell you one thing. See, you are a normal user. From EC2 user, you are switching to Ansible user. So that's why it will demand for password of Ansible user. But from root, if you want to switch to Ansible, it won't demand for password. Because root can switch to any other user without any password and all. Now see, I'm giving Ansible password. Enter. Now I switch. Let's come back. Now I'm root user. Okay, see, I'm root user. Now switch to Ansible user. See, no password. That's it. Okay. Here also let me switch to Ansible. You can switch like this also. You can see that is also fine. So directly root again to Ansible. So many commands are there, right? Many shortcuts. Okay. So what actually we did in previous class? We did total 5 things. Let me give a quick recap. Server and nodes. Initially we created user. We created password. We set a password to that user. Then we have given pseudo privileges to that user. And we have given, we have provided SSH connection. Default is passwordless, password with password. The finally passwordless SSH, SSH without password. Without password, that we did. So first 4 things we did in all 3 machines, being a root user. The last one we did only in server, being an Ansible user. That's how we connected. Now we can happily switch to nodes without any password from Ansible user to Ansible. How to verify SSH? What is node 1's IP? Host name minus site. Okay, this is IP, right? Just copy and paste. SH node 1. See, I logged into node 1. Got it? Now let's exit. Let's try with node 2 also. Host name minus site. Now you can see I better get this one and try to SSH. Just try. That's it. You can see I'm in node. Let's come back. Exit. Okay. So successfully we have established a SSH connection. Successfully. Now, see. This is server. These are my nodes. Okay. These are my nodes. We connected these, right? Fine. We installed Ansible only in server, correct? We have installed Ansible only in server. So after installing Ansible, what actually happened here? Under top level root directory, there is a directory called etc. Under that, one folder got created called Ansible. Under that, 2 files got created. 2 files. One file is ansible.cfg, main configuration file. Another one is hosts. These 2 files are there right now. Let me show you. One is ansible.cfg, that is main configuration file, and the other file is hosts. These 2 files got created. Let me just show you. ls, you run sudo, because ansadmin to do each and every task, he has sudo privilege, right? He can run sudo without any issues, because to do few things he should use sudo command. Okay, ls under etc. See, Ansible directory is there. You can see under the ansible.cfg file is a host file is there. Don't worry about that one, which is not required as of now. I'll explain later on. Roles concept also is there that we are going to see later on. Okay, these 2 files are there. Okay, fine. Now, what is this file? Host file. This host file is right. This file, the actual name of this file is host. This we call as an inventory file. This file actually we call as an inventory file. Actual name is host, but generally we call this as the inventory file. So what actually we need to do in this file, we have to mention nodes IP addresses. Nodes IP addresses here. IPs. So when you put IP addresses of nodes in this file, then only your server will recognize those nodes. I'm repeating this. It's a very, very important concept. When you put IP addresses of nodes, then only your server will recognize these nodes. Otherwise, no. Even though you connected server with nodes, your Ansible will recognize your nodes only when you put these nodes IP addresses in this file. Okay, because that's what inventory file, right? You need to maintain inventory. Inventory means what here? Information about nodes. Information means IP addresses. You need to keep IP address of nodes here. Then only you can push code. So when you try to push code to nodes, first Ansible will verify whether those IP addresses are here or not. Based on that only it can push. Okay. So let's open this file and let's keep nodes IP addresses in this inventory file. Let's open that file. Sudo vi, okay, vi etc Ansible host. You can see, yes, I have opened this file. Here you can see a lot of information, but you need not worry about all those things. Anywhere, okay, you can add this information anywhere. Let me show you. Anywhere, okay, anywhere you make space anywhere. Here, what is nodes IP address? Okay, let's take both nodes IP addresses. Yeah, these are node 1's IP. Just copy it and paste over here. One more node. What is our node 2's IP address? There is one. Just copy it and paste over here. Done. Nodes IP addresses. Now, what you are going to do here? See, you are going to create a group. You are going to keep these two under one group. You are going to make two nodes as group. So here you put, these square brackets. Here you give any name, for example, web servers. Okay, so I created one group. Under the group, I mentioned these IP addresses. So whenever I want to push code to these nodes, I can just make use of this name, web servers. Whenever I refer the word web servers, that means, your server will push code to all nodes which are under this group. Like that, we can create groups of these nodes. Assume that I have 200 nodes. 100 nodes are web servers, 100 nodes are database servers. Assume that here, DB servers. Here I'm keeping, here I'm giving, few more nodes IP addresses like this. Assume. Okay. So while pushing code, whenever I use the word web servers, code will be pushed to all nodes which are under web servers. When I use the word database servers, code will be pushed to database servers. That's how it is going to work. Understood? That is it. Yeah. So you can add any number of nodes. That's up to you. You can create any number of groups. That is up to you. Okay. So as of now, since we have only two nodes, I'm going to give only one group and this one. Okay. Yeah, group is a kind of mandatory. As of now, you can think it is mandatory, but in project I need to add. I'm going to add a few more things here. As of now, you create a group. Okay, you can see one group. Group must be surrounded with square brackets. You can give any name here. That is up to you, whatever name you want. Under you mention nodes IP addresses. That's it. Now come out. Over. But here the problem is right now your main configuration file is not recognizing this host file. I'm repeating. Your main configuration file is not recognizing this host file. It is not recognizing. Why? Because the name of this host file here, it is there, main configuration file, but in a commented state. You can see commented state. I'm repeating. The name of this inventory file, which is there in configuration file, in a commented state. That's why your main configuration file is not recognizing this host file. Okay, when your main configuration file will recognize this file, if you remove this comment, then only this host file will come into effect. Got it? Okay, so what you do, just go to main configuration file and remove the comment so that this host file will come into effect. Your Ansible main configuration file will recognize this host file. Then only things will work. So open that file. So here, what is this file? Ansible.cfg. This is a main configuration file. Open it and you can see here, what is this? Inventory. Yeah, you can see inventory equal to, what is the file? It is Ansible host. But that is in a commented state. You can see. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this comment. Remove. And optionally, what you can do one more thing, that is sudo-user is right. Sudo-user, it is root. Just remove it. But it's not mandatory. Even if you don't remove, still it works. Because anyways, by default, root has sudo privileges by default. But better to remove, but not mandatory. That's all. Okay, remove. Now come out. Now your main configuration file is recognizing. Main configuration file is recognizing this host file. Okay, that is all. I hope you understood. This is very, very important thing that we have to do. Whatever we are doing, right? This is only one-time effort only. We don't do every now and then. Once the setup is ready, then we don't do all these things. Got it? Okay. Now we are going to talk about host patterns. Okay, host patterns. The topic is host patterns. So what actually happens here? This is my server. These are my nodes. So while pushing code, actually, we write playbook. Okay, in that we write code. So while pushing, if I use our keyword all, if I use a word called keyword all, that refers to, see here, this is inventory file, host file. Okay, if I use the keyword all, code will be pushed to all groups and all nodes. Every group which is inside inventory file and all nodes under the groups. Suppose I want to push code to only particular group, then you use that group name, like we have created a group, right? Web servers, the group name, you refer the group name. When you give group name, code will push you to only nodes which are there under that group only. Like that. Suppose in that group also, in the groups I would like to, I'm unable to write properly because my table is not so. Yeah, one second. Web servers. Suppose in that group I would like to push code to only first node. Then you mention like this 0 in square brackets. That means code will be pushed to the first node which is inside this group. 0 means first node. Second node 1. So it is kind of indexing. So numbering starts from 0. 1 means second node. Third node, if I want to push code to only third node in the group. Like this. Suppose the last node means -1. Last but one node. For example, some 100 nodes are there. I want to push code to last node. So -1. Last but one, -2. Like that. Range of nodes. Group name. Here, suppose 0:3. That means 0 with 1. That means here, first 4 nodes. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 0, 1, 2, 3. Correct? So that means code will push you to first 4 nodes. If I give some 2:4, that means 0, 1, 0, 1, 2. That means third node to fifth node, like that. Because starting from 0, right? Actually, that's so we can push code to range of nodes also. Suppose I want to push code to multiple groups. I assume that we have 2 groups. Okay, one is web group and the one is database group. So one group colon and the group like DB. So code will be pushed to all nodes in these 2 groups. One more group colon, one more group, like that. Suppose first group, first node in the first group 0. Second node in the second group assume. Then second node here means 1. So first node here 0 means first node in the first group, second node in the like that we can. This is what we call host pattern. That means you can control to where you want to push the code. Now, to which node, that you can control by using these host patterns. If you want to push code to all groups, all nodes, then we use our keyword all. That is how actually it works. This is what we call host patterns. So to test whether this host patterns it is working properly or not, then for that we have a small command is that by using that we can verify. Okay, that is Ansible hyphen all. So Ansible all. So here the keyword I'm using all. Okay, hyphen list hyphen nodes. Okay, hyphen host. Okay, hyphen list. What I'm doing, just I would like to see list of hosts which are connected to Ansible server. But what keyword I'm using? All means it should show all nodes. You can see. Right now we have only two, right? That's why it is showing both nodes. Suppose I would like to see only one particular group, web servers. Okay. Now also it shows both only because those two are there in the web servers, right? That's it. For example, I would like to see only first node. 0. 0 means you can see first node. Suppose second node. 1. You can see second node. Like that. We have only two nodes, right? That's why I'm taking only 0 and 1. Suppose last node. -1. As of now, just I'm testing. Already working fine. Later on, while pushing code, these are the keywords which I'm going to use in our playbook. These are the keywords which I'm going to use in playbook. So that code will be pushed to only these nodes. Last but one node means -2. You can see. Suppose range of nodes. Like as of now we have only two nodes. Okay, 0:1. That means 0 to 1. Means 0 and 1 only two nodes. That is so. Okay. If you have multiple groups, assume that we have web servers and one more group is there called database or DB. Servers like that. But right now we don't have that group, right? That's why it won't work. This is what we call host patterns. Okay, host patterns. So you can mention the pattern of hosts. Understood? Fine. Now what we'll do? Now that's it. Setup, everything is over.